Good morning. It is August 13th, Wednesday. Welcome to the Mystic Wise One. A short little reading for today. This is the third day we're doing it. We're going to do this all the way to the beginning of September when I go on tour with Galaxy Psychic Fair. We're going to be in Winnipeg. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to do 5 cities in Winnipeg, Regina, Saskatoon, Calgary, and Edmonton. So I'm pretty excited about being a part of that whole event. Anyway, so this morning I woke up about 5:22 this morning, which is very interesting. And I'm doing my meditation and I'm just kind of thinking about the world and the crazy things that are going on in the world. And I do believe that the only way to support our planet is for each and every one of us to find joy every day. And people go, well, that's kind of selfish. No, actually, it's not. When you find joy and you have joy in your life, what happens is that kind of emanates out into the world. If you have negativity, just remember how fast that negativity spreads. Well, when you have joy, the same thing occurs. Is that joy? People kind of go, okay, there's faith in humanity. And I think that's where we need to focus our attention is having some faith in humanity. It's easy to not have faith in humanity. And I don't mean to put your head in the sand, and it's not a political conversation, but it is about having joy. Find joy in something today. Do something today that makes you feel amazing. And the other thing too is don't take yourself for granted. Because you know what? You're amazing. Really are amazing. The fact that you are in this time, in this lifetime, what an incredible thing. How amazing is that? So let's get to today's reading. Find joy is the number one answer. So again, Osho Zen deck card. I will change decks probably next week, but I use this deck all the time. It's probably one of the most accurate for me anyway. I've had it since 2000. So the first card is the laziness card. Oh, that's a little bit of a warning. So the laziness card is all about, for those of you who think, everything that's going on is okay. I don't have to worry too much about it. And I've kind of made it. You haven't. The fact that you're still on the planet says, I still have things to learn. So sometimes we get a lot of pushback from the older generation who kind of have their pensions and they're retired and their house is paid off and they don't seem to have a lot of care for what's going on for the younger generation. And I think that's what this card kind of speaks to. I do well, I'm doing okay, but I look at my kids and it's like I keep going and I keep pushing and I keep wanting to support them and to help them to have a better world because right now it's a struggle. So this is, if you're on the planet still, you've work to do. Just remember, you haven't made it. And so what else does that mean? So the other part that comes up, and so huge change is coming. So interesting. This is not wrong. This is something that's coming down the pike. So change. So for today, you take a look at the change card. This is in all areas of your life. So not only the physical change, the mental change, emotional change, but most importantly, the spiritual change. And we need that spiritual change because it is a spiritual conversation that is going to actually support the planet. It is not what you do that's going to support the planet. Hear me when I say that. Yesterday we had talked about going with the flow. The one thing about that is that when we go with the flow, the control freaks that we included, when we realize we can just let go and go with the flow, sometimes spirit's going to give you a different way out, a different way of looking at it, and a different answer, different solution. And we need to trust that we're in that spot, the perfect spot for you. Like change, sometimes you take a look at the things today that you naturally do. And then take a look at a year ago, things that you naturally did, and you're kind of going, huh, I wonder why I did that or wonder why I'm doing that. Just notice that this change, you might be doing it already. What that means is I started canning food a year ago, started prepping, started buying coffee, started buying, different things a year ago. I didn't really know why I was just, I've always been a bit of a prepper, but I got really serious about it a year ago. And so now, taking a look at the world shortages and different things that are going on the planet, I see that. I see why I did that. So sometimes you naturally do things. And so go with whatever it is that you're being called to do. That change is going to be gradual, it's going to be like this, a big thing. Okay, so the last card we're going to pull for today, this one right here, participation. I have all my cards are upside down. That's interesting. The participation card. This again is the interesting how change and participation are together. So participate in the change, participate in the physical change, the mental change, the spiritual change, the emotional change, participated in it fully and be grateful. The yin and the yang is going to balance things out for you. And so that's the thing to pay attention to. If somebody has a job that they're going to lose today, and sometimes when we lose a job, when we get fired or we get, laid off or however that looks, sometimes that gives us an opportunity, most times gives us an opportunity to do something else that's really what we're calling to do. And so, or what we're being called to do. And so you aren't a human doing. Remember that always. You are a human being. And so that's the beingness of what we want to focus on in the next little while is how you are being, not what you are doing. There you go. I will see you tomorrow. Hit the like button if you like, if I said something that was amazing or something, or you just liked it and you want to hear it every day. A little bit of inspiration, a little bit of a reading, and a little bit of some education, perhaps. That makes it a little bit easier. I'm going to be canning peaches all day today, and watching my granddaughter in the softball nationals today. So at least I hope I get to. Anyway, have yourself a great day, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye for now.